What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tonich, here with my co host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
We have a very special episode for you guys today. This is before the launch of Call of Duty 6 comes out this Friday. This episode will be going live on Thursday, the 24th. So by the time that you see this, there'll be less than 6 hours till Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is dropped. Unless you're like Deception and taking a quick vacation to New Zealand.
Bro, it feels nice here.
Yeah. How,
I
how,
like it.
how's it doing? How's it going there?
It's nice.
Yeah, so.
It's a little warmer than the US, which is great.
So this is gonna be a very like specific episode. We're gonna be talking Call of Duty only. So if you guys want anything else other than Call of Duty, hate to break it to you, but this is not your episode. We're gonna be going over everything you'll be able to see at launch tomorrow. Some things you might want to know. But yeah, so we're gonna start off with some multiplayer. We're gonna talk multiplayer. We're gonna talk maps, guns, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that literally like all of the great blogs for this game dropped in between the two podcast episodes.
Yeah. So
Because like we went from not having a lot to talk about aside from stuff we already talked about to now we have like if we wanted to, we could probably go through this for hours.
probably yeah. So we're just gonna. I think we should just go through like Charlie Intel, and then just start. I don't even know where to start. So I mean, as some of you guys remember from our COD Next episode, um, we talked about the maps and things dropping on launch that we already knew about, but there's been a lot more
Yep.
information that has come out since. So I'm just trying to scroll.
He just straight up dropped like full lists of everything.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even trying to to hide anything this time. They just
No,
straight up
we have
went like,
score
"Here's
streaks, guns,
everything."
everything. Yeah. Um, Hold on. I'm really gonna have to scroll here.
I mean, I think that's kind of an advantage for them though, because like I mean, the last Treyarch game that came out was Cold War, and while I think that had a good post launch, it had a pretty tumultuous development cycle, and
Yeah.
they were very secretive about a lot of things in Cold War because the game was like pretty. Um, I wouldn't really say rushed because they didn't have a lot of time to develop it anyway. But like Cold War was a little rough
Yeah.
at launch.
Well, I mean, there was a lot that came with it. I mean, specifically, like, we talked about it before, the vid played a big factor in Cold War. So seeing Call of Duty, but another Black Ops series in full development, a full development
Well, that and the
cycle.
fact that they were Cold War was not even supposed to be a game yet,
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be a Sledgehammer and Raven game, but then they couldn't figure out what the heck they wanted to do, so they brought Treyarch in. And they were like, "Help us."
Um. Okay. We're gonna start with all multiplayer maps and modes. This is, you know, complimentary of Charlie Intel is probably going to be where we're getting most of our information today, just so everyone's aware.
Early Intel,
Yeah.
love it.
Oh shit. I'm hitting ads on accident. Stop. Stop, Tom. Stop. Okay. So, this is one of the maps that was in the beta. So, there's going to be some core maps. You can play core, hardcore. Starting off at launch, we'll have Protocol, Payback, Skyline, Lowtown, Subsonic, Rewind, Scud, Red Card, Babylon, Derelict, Vorkuta, Vault, and then as of November 1st, we get Nuketown. So we get Nuketown very early on in this
One
game, which
week
is
into the
great.
game,
Which is great.
exactly what I predicted.
Yeah.
I
So
was like, if we don't get Nuketown before season one, we're getting it at season one, and I knew.
yeah. So we're getting 16 brand new maps. At launch, which we really never get. Usually there's at least one or two recycled maps or even just like reskin maps. The only returning classic is gonna be Nuketown, which doesn't even come at launch, it comes a week later. 12 of them are 6v6, and then there's 4 strike maps. that can be played 6v6, but they're typically 2v2, so kind of gunfight feel to them. Bringing back that sort of that sort of mode as well, which I'm a fan
I'm
of.
not gonna say that I've seen it because people definitely are not playing the game right now.
Yeah.
But
Um,
there may or may not be a face-off playlist at launch,
mhm.
so you'll be able to play the strike maps 6v6
Yeah.
off rip.
So I'm excited for Gunfight to be back. I love Gunfight. I grinded the shit out of it. For my esports club right now, one of our games is Modern Warfare 2019 Gunfight 1v1s. So
Dude,
to
that was
have
like the
this,
first taste of MW19 that we got.
yeah,
It
it was
was like
Gunfight.
that was the
Yeah.
first time we ever had an alpha for COD was the gunfight alpha.
Yep.
I
So
love that.
yeah. So I mean, and we're doing it for club esports till the end of the semester, but we'll probably switch it over to BO6 next semester, with the new Gunfight um, coming in. But so for the modes that are dropping day one, um, we'll have deathmatch, domination, search and destroy, kill confirm, free for all, hard point, gunfight, headquarters, kill order, which is a new one, control, some face off variants, hardcore, and then post launch we'll have infected, and then we'll
That's
also
supposed
have,
to come at some point between
yeah,
now and season one,
yeah.
but
It'll
we'll
probably be
see.
like, I don't know, might
I
be
would
with,
expect it honestly to drop either with Nuketown or the weekend between Nuketown and season one, because in a bit we'll get to the fact that we may have seen the season one
yeah.
uh, launch date.
So this is all the modes that we know so far. Ranked Fae will be coming season one, so it's very early ranked play. So if y'all are ranked players, this is your year. As everyone tweets out at the beginning of ranked every year, between like the first weekend of COD, this is my year tweet. So many of them. It's every year. I love it. Cracks me up because this is 8 people every year. So this is kind of outdated. We got a little bit more. Let me find it actually. We have a little bit more of an updated, full weapons list for launch, and unlock um, levels. Hold on, let me just find it real quick. But with those maps and modes, it's gonna be a lot to play all at once, a lot to learn. But once you know, it's Call of Duty. Most of them are 3 lane maps, pretty standard stuff. We played a bunch of them in
All of
the
them are supposed to
beta.
be small to medium size. So it'll be
Yeah,
very interesting how a lot of these maps play because I've heard a lot of like mixed reviews about them. I've
yeah.
heard like a lot of people like the overall perception I feel like for these maps is like for pubs they're probably going to be amazing because they're all pretty
Mm-hmm.
small. So they're going to be action packed, like tight, full of gunfights. It's going to be great. But like for competitive, it might be a little weird. Like it, we might have a little bit of a difficult map pool if a lot of the maps are a little too small. But we'll see.
Yeah, so I mean, we always kind of have to wait and see which ones are going to make it into comp, and transition over. But I mean, that's what
The
that's
interesting
that's the
thing
comp
from the
players.
beta was that a lot of the maps that Treyarch said a lot of the maps that we played were on the smaller side. So a lot of the launch maps should definitely be bigger than the beta
Mm-hmm.
maps that we played.
Oh man, Dunkin' coffee, dude, it's so good. Anyway, back to regular Scanish program. Um, so weapon. So here's the list of weapons. Mostly, I can't get it all on one page just because it's so long. We're just gonna kind of go down. So there you get the first. This is pretty typical for every Call of Duty. You get the first weapon of every section unlocked immediately. So for those of you camo grinders like myself, you'll be able to start with the XM4, the C9, the Marine SMP, the PS21, which is an LMG, the Marksman Rifle SWAT 5.56, the LW3A1 Frostline, the 9mm PM, Sigma 28, and the regular knife. But, and then kind of going back through, there's going to be the AK-47, just kind of giving some like ones that I know off the top of my head from like previous CODs, the AS Val, the Jackal PDW, the PP919. You know me and my PP. I love me a PP. Doesn't matter what game. You got the
Yes,
XMG.
Val's probably going to be one of the first unlocks for a lot of people because it's
Oh yeah,
unlocked at 55, which is
yeah.
max level.
Yeah, for sure for me, that's gonna be one of them. Then there's gonna be the XMG. There's a bunch of different There's gonna be the SVD as a sniper rifle. Usually they
I'm
throw
excited
that.
for that frost line, bro.
Yeah. And
Reminds me of the
then
Tundra from Cold War.
they're also, just to kind of like quickly mention this. There's also a baseball bat, like a regular baseball bat melee weapon, which is sick. In my opinion, as someone who loves to do melee, um, or melee, as some people say, um, the melees. Having a baseball bat, that's sick. So, I mean,
I
there's a
really
lot
like
of
the
guns.
dedicated melee in general
Yeah.
because I feel like a lot of people in like since we've went to the whole system of instead of having a knife by default when you melee, you usually melee with the gun butt. Like I feel like a lot of people who miss that kind of that melee stuff, it's
Mm-hmm.
like now I have to sacrifice a secondary for a melee
Yeah.
when that used to not be a thing. And now in this game you have dedicated melee, so now you don't have to worry about sacrificing anything to have something that's a melee weapon.
Yeah, and you can grind those melee weapons along with. You can grind pretty much three guns at once. Oh, three weapons at once.
Yeah, you basically got zombies mule kick in multiplayer now.
Yeah, literally, which is sick, in my opinion. Um, so definitely cool thing to look out. There's only two launchers, so those you camo grinders, you're good. There's only two shotguns. This is gonna be really great. I can't wait to see it. And the cool thing about weapons for this game, continue on the weapon grinder front, mainly because that's like the main thing I'm gonna be doing on launch. Is that you can unlock all of them, right? You don't have to level them up. You know what I mean? So we'll get more into that later, but just something to keep you hopeful. Um, so there's some field upgrades that we have already. These are both gonna be in multiplayer and in zombies. You've got the acoustic AMP, morphine injector, neurogas, and sleeper agent. So they're keeping field upgrades in this game. Um, so morphine injector, it's like a stim, I'm assuming. Neurogas. I
Morphine
honestly,
injector is a little scary
yeah. Are you gonna like?
because morphine injector is basically last stand.
Okay,
You take it, and then when you go down, you obviously go on the last stand, and then. But I think morphine injector's a bit scary.
hold on, Deception. I need you to take over for a second. Just keep talking. Score streaks here. I'll
Okay,
pull this. I'll pull score streaks.
we're gonna look at the streaks now. Yeah, there's like I don't remember the exact number. I think it's like 18. I think it's like 18 streaks that are in this game. I should bring back the OTS from Cold War. There, one of the SMGs looks like the OTS. I don't remember which one it is. I'm sure if Tone brings up like the guns. Um, there is an SMG that looks like the OTS. I don't remember which one it's called, but it looks very similar to the OTS. Um, but with the streaks look pretty good. The only one that's a little weird is the interceptors. I know a lot of people did not like the a lot of people did not like probably won't be happy with the interceptors. Because they're a lot like the streak from Cold War that just showed up, the air patrol. It just showed up and took down all the streaks. Um but other than the interceptors, I think the streaks are going to be great. I mean, like they brought the AGR back. There's the AGR Mark One, which
Mm-hmm.
is awesome. You'll be able to walk, or like you're gonna be able to. I don't know if it'll move automatically. I think since this is an early model, you're gonna have to control it yourself the whole time. But that's still pretty cool. Um, I mean, one of the big ones is the fact that they brought the harp back. That was a big thing in Cold War. Is like everybody was like, bring the VSAT back because like there was no like version of the VSAT. And I'm glad that they brought the harp back for launch. Um, I think the dreadnought is like
I would think Juggernaut, you know what I mean? Like a similar thing to that.
pretty sure the dreadnought is like pretty sure the dreadnought is also it's almost like a MW19 white phosphorus type thing. I don't exactly know.
I'm gonna look it up real quick because I want to know too. Because BO6, it looks like it was in previous Call of Duties. So
Maybe the Dreadnought's like the gunship of this game.
from what I'm seeing as a dreadnought, hold on, let me just. This is just from. I think this is from like different games, but like
I think it's a
it's a
gunship.
pretty like it's like a. It looks like a tank kind of thing. Um, hoping we get some
It's
sort
from
of
other games though.
yeah.
We're playing a game from the 90s. I don't think we're gonna have that.
You never know. Dreadnought review.
It's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably like an AC-130 gunship type thing.
I don't
If
know.
it's the
It's
highest
not.
streak, because Treyarch loves to put a gunship type streak as the top streak now,
Yeah.
ever since BO3.
Guides Black Ops 6. Um, multiplayer modes, multiplayer maps. Yeah, they haven't put out a guide yet for the actual I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I don't really know what they're going at. Wiki says it's a gunship. Okay. That's sick though. That's really sick. The harp. Gotta love a harp. Um but no, these score streaks are sick. And they're score streaks, not kill streaks, so you know. But
I'm
that's kind
pretty
of been
sure
a thing
you
for a
could.
while.
I don't remember from the beta if you could change them between kill
I
streaks and score streaks.
It
I
could be a
think they're
perk.
just score streaks.
It could be a perk.
'Cause I know,
Uh
like in MW3, there was just like a toggle button where it was just like, oh,
yeah.
you could change it to whatever. But like we'll say,
Yeah. So let me pull this up. So we're gonna go over. I guess we can go over like online, like equipment, perks, score streaks, and stuff like that. On the Call of Duty page. So from what I can see here from the for the loadout, we're gonna have a bunch of different options. For loadouts, it says create new at the bottom, which is something they've been kind of doing anyway. So you'll have your primary, you'll have your secondary, and then you'll have your melee. And then you'll have a tactical, lethal, field upgrade, perk 1, 2, 3, and then specialty, and then a wild card. So wild cards are back. So if you want to do like overkill, that kind of stuff, they're back. Um, I did see that. We did see that. Oh, I did anyway. Wyatt, the Halloween bundle for X Defiant, shit's sick. We could probably talk about that a little bit at the end after we go through COD. So for loadout unlocks, seems like you get quite a lot. So you get custom at 4. You get custom loadouts unlocked at level 4, which is like lower than usual. I think it's usually like 5. Is it not?
pretty sure in every COD usually it's 4.
Oh, maybe I'm just stupid. Don't answer that question. Tacticals, concussion automatically unlocked, flashbang, spy cam, smoke, prox alarm, stim shot, decoy. Also, there is a stim shot. Okay, so
Yeah,
the
that's crazy because I know I don't have to be level 6 to get flashed, but okay.
um oh my god. Prox alarm, decoy, and shock charge. These are pretty like typical spy cam though. I don't think I've
From what I've seen, the spy cam is supposed to. I don't know how it works because, like, obviously we haven't played with it yet. It's one of the ones that we didn't get to play with. But
it looks like a trail like it looks like a hunt like a trail
from
cam.
from what I saw, it looks almost like um it seems like from at least from like the description because they gave a description. For at least from the description, it sounds like something almost like the what was that? What was that thing that you could use in
Quickly mark
Warzone where it
quickly
would ping
mark
things really quick?
I think it was like a drone. Quickly mark enemies and hostile equipment and score streaks for your team. So this
Yeah,
reminds
I think
me,
what it's gonna be is like something that because there's obviously like the regular live ping system anyway in this game, but I think what it might be is it might be like a mass ping system where it's like you point that camera and whatever's in it just immediately gets
yeah.
pinged and it can ping like everything.
It kind of reminds. It's gonna be similar probably to like for those of you people that play Valorant. It's probably gonna be similar to like Cypher Cam, where you can like pop it up and just you know, and then continue on with the enemies marked. I think it's gonna be something similar to that. For those of you Valorant nerds, I've been on that grind again, so you know those references are gonna start making their way back up. Um, Other ones are pretty standard though. The prox alarm is a set of two sticky alarms that ring and flash when the enemy is nearby. Tripped alarms show on allied minimaps. So it starts off just showing for you, and then it'll show for your teammates when the alarm is tripped fully. Stim shot, typical thing. Shock charge, typical thing. Decoy grenade, typical. Moving on to
Love the
lethals.
decoys and zombies.
Oh yeah. So moving on to lethals, we've got the frag, sticky grenade, C4, thermo grenade, impact grenade, Molotov, blast trap, drill charge, and combat axe. Oh my god, the combat axe is back, dude. Me and that combat axe, we get some stuff done. All right, you ever see me with the throwing knife in MW19? I made a whole freaking like montage of me just using the throwing knife. So in SND, and I'm gonna
I
have to
love
bring that back.
Combat Axe, bro. I think Combat Axe is so fun.
So this is the
I'm
COD
intrigued
with
about
4 minutes,
the
and this
drill
definitely
charge and
stole that
zombies because
spiking.
we have not had a drill charge in a round based zombies map where you can get all the zombies together and just drill charge them like that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Also, Wyatt, I definitely think that COD stole the spy cam idea from Valorant, or because Valorant came out, um, I think it was 2021.
I think it was earlier than that.
It could have been 2020. When did Valorant release? June 2nd, 2020. Okay. So it was 2020. I'm just getting
It
my
was
years
exactly
wrong.
mid 2020. Why it was on the
Yeah,
money.
so the beta started in April, which is when I started playing. I started on April 8th, because I got a code from watching a stream. I fucking sat in those streams for days. Like, I was like 24/7 in those streams trying to get a beta code. But then it was released in 2020.
Be
So
like
this,
those guys watching COD champs for the beta code.
yeah, literally. Uh, so yeah, 2020. So it definitely started around the same time as this, and Cypher was one of the original characters, well, one of the original agents in Valorant. So it definitely could be a possibility that they saw this and were like, "That's a good idea." I knew it was COVID time. It definitely was. I just get confused because COVID like combined for me 2020 to like 2021. This so like when we locked down to like June 2021, it all just kind of like melded together for me and was like the same month because I just didn't leave the house and I just streamed all the time. So time was irrelevant to me, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So definitely probably got that from Val. So then looking at these, thermo grenade creates a large fuel air cloud that explodes after a duration. So it's kind of like a enhanced smoke grenade, is what I'm thinking. Based off of that description.
Like a smoke grenade, but it hurts.
Yeah. So it's like a gas grenade maybe, but it explodes. So I don't know. Maybe it's like a gas grenade
I
and
mean,
then
gas
like,
grenades explode too. That's how they emit the
well,
gas.
yeah, but it says it explodes like after a while. So like it creates the air and then it explodes. So it's like so it does one explosion to release the air, like the cloud, and then it does another explosion. That's probably like a bomb, right? A boom boom, if you would. Blast trap, planted device. When detonates when enemies come near. Drill charge, explosive charge that burrows into the surface and explodes, damaging enemies on the other side. So this is good for if, if someone's sitting in a corner or someone's, holding like a,
Somebody's like behind a wall, you just
yeah,
throw a drill charge at them.
yep. So that's good if you're like in a lobby with a bunch of uh, campers and little rats. Build upgrades. We've got a few of them. We've got Assault Pack, Scrambler, Signaler, Morphine Injector, War Cry, Sprinting Mine. Oh, not Sprinting Mine. Spring Mine, Tactical Insurgent, Trophy System, Neurogas, Acoustic, AMP, and Sleeper Agent.
Warcry is gonna be cool, bro.
Yeah.
I think that one's gonna be good.
Um, Assault Pack, the ammo refill, trophy system, typical. Scrambler, it's like an EMP. It's a scrambler. Signaler alert. Oh my god, I cannot English today at all. This is a really bad day to not be able to English. It always happens on Wednesdays. I just can't freaking speak. And it translates throughout the entire day from like the moment I wake up and through like class discussions. I can't speak either. It's a whole thing. Reveal your position to enemies, but earn bonus score for kills and for surviving. So this could be good for like, if this is available in Warzone, if you're like trying to get kills and you're just not finding anybody, pop that signaler down and then just let them come to you. Like, could be a good thing. If you're like looking to get a lot of kills quickly and you're a good player and you can like maneuver that. But if you're a bad
I'm
player,
excited for
I would
Warcry, bro.
if you're a bad player, don't pop that signaler. War Cry is when you rally your team, improving nearby allies' movement speed and health regen speed for duration. So it's like you just get like boosted stats essentially, and you're just like a freaking speed demon. With some good health regen. Attack insertion, same thing as before. Acoustic AMP is a personal audio amplifier that makes enemy footsteps louder for a duration. So if you're like in a clutch moment in SND, they boosted the sound quality of this game like tenfold. So like sound is very directional now too, and it like echoes. So this will bring it up even more. So if you're in a
Imagine a COD game having good audio. This might be the first one.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna have to sound whore. You're gonna have to be a sound whore in some of these games. It's be good for especially like S&D scenarios when it's 1v1 or 1v2, and you're trying to find out where these other people are. So you pop the acoustic AMP, and you're like, all right, you just listen. You know what I mean? You take that sound and translate it. Neurogas is the same thing as a gas grenade, but it causes hallucinations and disorients and damages victim. Okay, so it's like a hallucinogen as well. That's pretty cool. So the morphine injector, which is probably one of the ones that I'm more interested in, for a duration, fatal damage puts you into last stand state. Teammates can revive you or get a kill to or you get a kill to self revive. So that's pretty much what Deception said, um, which is pretty cool. And then I think this is the last one that's new to me anyway. So Sleeper Agent, infiltrate the enemy team, appearing as a friendly to them for a short duration. Kills extend the time, gunfire, and enemy content reveal your true identity. Okay, so I was seeing this a lot in the beta. I thought it was a glitch that the game was. Oh, okay. Okay. So this was in the beta, I think.
You didn't know about the sleeper agent, bro?
No, and I was getting really confused and really mad at the game because I'm like, why is this game fucking up so bad? That
First time that I got by a sleeper agent was this guy was laying prone, and I swear he was an enemy because I got aim assist on him at first. And then like I saw a blue name tag through the rock, and I was like, "Oh, why? Like my teammate's laying prone in the rock. I must have like shot somebody else." And then
mm-hmm.
this guy just comes up and like knifes me in the face. I'm
Yep.
like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah. So if you had the same thoughts as me during the beta where you thought the game was messing up, it wasn't. They were just using Sleeper Agent. Um so moving on to perks, specialties, and wild cards. Um let's move down here. So you get 3 perks block. Oh my god, why can I not speak today? Deception. I'm having takeover on perks because my brain needs a second to catch up.
So the perk system works very differently in this game. Um, Instead of there being like, I mean, as you can tell, there's like red, blue, and green perks, but instead of there being like a perk one, perk two, perk three system where you only have certain perks to put in certain slots, you can just put perks wherever you want. Um, you can run any combination in any order. You can run, as you can tell, they have a system where if you run all three of the same perk color, you get a special ability that your character has. Like, what, for example, like the one that I like for the blue one, I was running this one a lot in the beta because everybody was talking about how bad spawns were. If you run all three blue perks, you get to see the location of all the enemies when they spawn, or when you spawn. You get to see where all the enemies are, so it's pretty cool. Um, I think another one that a lot of people are going to love running is running all red perks because running all red perks gives you a movement and health regen speed bonus every time you get a kill. Um, I think that one's really fun. Um, and the green one gets you a little bit of a bonus toward score streaks, which there are already perks for that. So you can really make it easy to get score streaks in this game if
Yeah,
you
so it
want to.
really just depends on how you want to play. If you want to play aggressive, if you just want to know where everybody's at. So it'll allow for a lot of different play styles to be catered to with this perk system like that. Um, we've got our typical normal perks. So for the red perks, these are called enforcer perks. We've got gung ho, dexterity, scavenger, assassin, bruiser, double time, bankroll, and then the specialty perk is enforcer combat specialty. So it kind of like gives you a guide on like that these perks kind of work well together.
Yep.
So just kind of like an idea. These are a lot of these are pretty like standard, I believe. I think all of these have
It's
been in.
very interesting because like there's so many different like ways you can combine perks in this game. Like there are
Yeah.
obviously good perks in the red, blue, and green ones, but it's like if you sacrifice not using two of the other ones to just run one singular perk type, you get something for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Deception, but I think all of these have been in CODs before.
I'm pretty sure there aren't any new perks.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think about with some of these perks is there are some that give added abilities, but that's just because of the stuff that's in this game. Like there's one perk that makes you immune to sleeper agent, so you won't see so you'll still see the sleeper agent as an enemy.
Hmm.
Um Stuff like that, but a lot of the stuff has already been in the game before.
Yeah.
Um
So then moving on to recon perks. Sorry, my cat just scared the shit out of me. She, like, walked underneath my leg and I didn't realize she was even in here. So for the recon perks, we've got Ghost, Ninja, Engineer, Tracker, Forward Intel, Vigilance, Cold Blooded, and then the specialty one, which is Recon Combat Specialty. Um, these are all pretty like, we've all had these before. Ninja, move more quietly. Um, and then we've got strategist perks. We've got flak jacket, tack mask, dispatcher, fast hands, quartermaster, guardian, gearhead, and then the strategist combat specialty perk as well. Um, Yeah, so it really just depends. I mean, you unlock these pretty early on, these main specialty perks, and then there's all the other ones that are underneath it. And then moving on to wild cards, we've got six of them. Off rip, we've got tactical expert, overkill, gunfighter, danger close, prepper, and perk greed. Perk greed is pretty, we've had that one before. Pretty
Perk greed is going to be a
selfish.
big one in this game
Oh, for
because
sure.
that literally just lets you pick a fourth perk.
Yep.
And fun fact, you only have to run three perks of the same color
Mhm.
to get the bonus. So you could run three perks of the same color to get the bonus, and then run whatever other perk you wanted with perk greed.
Yep.
Um, I think that's another one that a lot of people are going to end up unlocking
Yeah.
pretty early in prestige because perk greed is very good in this game.
Yeah. So and then you've got Tactical Expert, which is 2 extra tacticals, Overkill, quick. You've got your any non-melee weapon in primary and secondary slots. You've got Gunfighter, extra 3 attachments for your primary weapon. Danger Close, extra lethal. Prepper is equipped 2 different field upgrades. I feel like this one is not. None of these are really new, but they're definitely useful. We talked about score streaks already. Um, they're going into a little bit more detail. Is there any that you didn't know other than uh the last one?
None of the other ones are really super surprising.
The
I love that they
Dreadnought.
brought the AGR back. That's
Yes,
great.
this is a heavily modified gunship equipped with multiple cannons, rocket pods, and a daisy cutter bomb. It's a Dreadnought, so it's just like freaking just everything going onto the map.
That'll be scary.
So moving on to zombies, I think that's pretty much covers it for multiplayer. So moving on to zombies, this is where Deception, you know, loves it. So they did some updates to the maps, did some touch ups to the HUD. It's looking pretty good. Kind of like walking us through the maps.
Permanence looks real good, bro.
Yeah. There's a bunch of
Excited to
different
play that map.
places. Liberty Falls. So there's 2 maps off launch, and these look
Liberty
really, really
Falls
good.
is where they really changed stuff up a little bit. I wouldn't say they changed stuff up a lot, atmosphere wise, but they also have told us that we aren't even seeing all of the atmospheric changes that they're going to bring to the map. So there might be some stuff like this might be a Shangri-La map turns into nighttime type thing at
Yeah,
some point.
yeah, that
Who
would be
knows?
cool. Um, so and then moving into the augments, so equip your augments, your Perca-Cola ammo mods and field upgrades to modify their performance. It looks like there's a lot of different things that you can do. There's equip,
There's 108 of them.
there's
You get
equip,
6 of them per perk or item or field upgrade or
yeah.
whatever you want.
So, so there's 6 for Perca-Cola. No, there's 8 for Perca-Cola, each with 6. Wait, Perca-Colas are 8, each with
Yeah,
6
there's 8 perks
augments,
on
so
launch.
48. Ammo mods 5, each with 6 augments, so there's a total of 30, and then field upgrades 5, each with 6 augments, another 30. And there's just like there's like a whole research tab, as well. So they're really getting into the zombie stuff again, which I really do like. This augment research unlocks at player level 11. So Deception's gonna be trying it out first day for sure. He'll definitely be like
I'll
level
be
20.
researching as much as
Yeah.
possible, right?
So each item has 2 available augment slot, one for a major and one for a minor. Expect 3 major augments to choose from per item. A major augment offers a substantial advantage to the behavior of the item, usually during use. Expect 3 minor augments to choose from per item. A minor augment offers a limited advantage to the item, usually during use. So now we're kind of
Dude,
going
one of the
into
ones for Jug is going to be great.
yeah. So now we're going into the perks. So there's 8 different perk colas. Um, as you can see here, there's Juggernaut, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Stamina, PhD Flopper, Deadshot Daiquiri, Emerald to Pop, and Melee Macchiato.
Yep,
And I think
that's
all
the
of
new one.
this is the new one. Yeah, I was like, all these are we've seen previously, but this one's definitely the new one.
Melee
So
Macchiato is
for
the
the
new.
so for those of you guys that don't know already, so for this one, you get to replace your weapon gun butt with a deadly punch that sends at enemies flying, which I think is pretty hilarious.
We saw people using it. We didn't see people using it a ton in the Liberty Falls gameplay, but they were using it in the Terminus gameplay quite
Mhm.
a bit. It looks pretty fun. Um, I don't know exactly how good of a perk that'll be. I know there's an augment that makes it do more damage over time. So if it's like one of those things where like it can just infinitely one hit, that might be pretty fun. There was a perk in BO4 that did that, and it was used for a lot of high round runs. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then moving on to the augments. So like they said before, there's 3 major, 3 minor. So I'm just gonna run through these super quickly.
It won't
Um,
be super quickly.
I'm gonna run through these as quickly
There's
as.
literally a list of all of them.
Okay. So for major augments, we have probiotic, which slightly increases maximum health with Juggernaut. Turtle shell, its armor acts as a shield on your back, completely absorbing any
Turtle
damage to
Shell
your
is
back.
probably the best one, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Because then that way you don't get hit from the back by zombies. Reactive
Because
armor when
like the
your
way
armor.
that armor normally works is that instead of you just straight absorbing all the damage, you you take a little bit of armor damage, but you also take health damage. But like with Turtle Shell, if they hit you, obviously you take full health damage from the front. Um, so you're not getting any armor mitigation from the front. But if you get hit from the back, you straight up don't take any health damage. Your armor just eats all of the damage that you just took.
Yeah. So, and then there's reactive armor, which when an armor plate breaks, normally nearby normal enemies are stunned for a short time. So that's pretty good. So if you're in a sticky situation, aren't your enemy, your normal zombies get stunned, and then you can try to get out of there. So for minor augments, you have retaliation, hardened plates, and durable plates. Retaliation deals bonus damage when health is low. Hardened plates, armor plates have more damage mitigation. And then durable plates slightly increase armor durability. So I think like for
I
me
honestly think the
maybe.
best combo for this, I mean, obviously people can run whatever they want.
Oh
I
yeah.
think the build diversity in this game will be great.
Uh,
But I think the most widely used and probably the best version of Jug would just be running Turtle Shell and durable plates.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like those two together might be what I'm running most of the time.
That probably is the best combo.
But obviously, check them out. I mean, I think, Deception should do a whole YouTube series on Juggernaut. Not Juggernaut, but like different augments and like which one's the best combinations for which situation. But if he won't do it, I will. Ugh. Anyway,
I think you should do it. It would just make you put more time into zombies.
yeah, it's true. I've
'Cause
got a lot.
I don't know what
Listen,
the research requirements of these are. I don't know if
I don't
it's like
know.
time based. I don't know if you have to do challenges, but like the research for these, I assume, is going to take a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, listen, I gotta tell you later what my plans for COD is because it's insane. And like my content schedule, like my content for the rest of the year, moving into next year, like I've been working on it for a few weeks, while I'm like in class and bored. And I've got a couple things like lined up for both Xify and like Xify and Call of Duty, like overall, along with going through my game, like the um playing through all my story mode games and giving reviews on them that I've already
You got a
been.
lot to do.
Dude, I'm ready
You
cuz
you have a you have a lot of content that you can get to for a
well,
while now.
listen, man. RIS is applying to be a double major, which means they will not have any time for me, which means I will have to fill my time that I would normally spend with RIS, which I spend a lot of time with them. So like that's a lot of time to fill. So what else better to do than go full on 3 YouTube channels? The Scorpion Syndicate one, my main channel, and then my Minecraft channel. But that's a whole other story for another day. I think that's
Yeah, that Minecraft channel that like
is
we
dead.
weren't supposed to find, but everybody found it
Yeah.
immediately. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I
That
remember that
happened on
too.
the podcast.
Yeah. You're like, you mean this one? I was like,
Yeah, you
shit.
were like, "Oh, I have this Minecraft channel that like nobody's found." Like, I don't think anybody subscribed to it, and I was like, "What? You mean this Minecraft channel that I've been subscribed to since it got recommended to me?"
Yeah, that's my bet on that one. Hold on a second, I'm just finishing up. Gotta get this climb together.
A Minecraft channel that was literally in your channels page on YouTube.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I kind of ruined it for myself. Um, Moving on, stamina up. So for the 3 major augments, we have Free Faller, Dasher, Stalker. Free Faller, you become immune to fall damage. Dasher is increased tactical sprint duration. Stalker, walk faster while aiming. I think personally my favorite out of that is probably gonna be Stalker, mainly because of the way that I play. And a lot of the times I die is because I'm like trying to shoot zombies and I'm having to walk. Um, for
Well,
my
on top of all of that, anyway, we have omni movement, so
yeah, which will
you might
be
not be dying to zombies nearly as much
no.
while moving anywhere but forward.
I gotta get myself a scuff controller. You know what I mean? To really fully grasp this Omni movement, because this old regular PlayStation for controller is not doing the trick for Omni movement like it could be. And then for minor augments, we have hard target, quarterback, hot foot. Hard target is while tactical sprinting, projectile damage is reduced. And then quarterback, use equipment while sprinting. Um, Hot foot is gain a speed boost after your equipment kills an enemy.
That could be a really good one for people. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, who knows what the high round strategies are in this game?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's very good, if it ends up being very good to horde the zombies instead of camp like Cold War,
Mm-hmm.
um, that could be a very very good one because then you could just chuck equipment at them, and the equipment are so good. Like if it's the same as Cold War, the equipment are so good you could kill a whole bunch of them anyway with it. But like you could throw the equipment at them and get a speed boost. You could get away to be able to throw more.
Yeah, I think augments are definitely going to play a very important role in just like zombies this year, especially with
Augments are
like
going to be very very good.
yeah. And then moving on to speed cola. First of all, I love the can for this one. It's got a bunch of flowers on it. It's very like
I like the
hippie.
cans in general. I think
Yeah,
a lot of like there. I think cans were overall positive, but mostly mixed in Cold War because I think people were so used to the per bottles. Bro, I like the cans. I think the
yeah.
cans are sick.
I think the cans are sick. I do miss the bottles just because of like, like popping off the cap and like all that stuff. But that's a nostalgia. That's a nostalgia thing. Um, I do like the cans though. They're
I like the designs on the
yeah,
cans. I think they're awesome.
I agree. So for the major augments for Speed Cola, you have Supercharge, Classic Formula, and Phantom Reload. Supercharge is field upgrades, recharge a bit faster. Um, and then Classic Formula is reload speed is even faster. And then Phantom Reload is weapon magazines are slowly refilled over time. So
See, this is
like,
going to be a weird one because a lot of people might gravitate to classic formula
mm-hmm,
because I know by default speed cola makes you reload 33% faster. And I'm
mm-hmm,
pretty sure classic formula is going to turn that up to 50% like it used to be, where you
yeah.
reload in half the time.
I think
Um,
I think Phantom Reload would be good for like if you're running LMGs. Um,
that would be especially good for wonder weapons
yeah,
because
just because
you could stow the wonder weapon and then
it'll
like
be
have it
reload. Yeah,
refilled.
because
But
like
like one of the things that I think will be very interesting is supercharged because the field upgrades charge faster.
and depending
That's
on
the
which
thing with speed cola. But the thing is, when we get to the gobblegums, you'll see it. Arsenal Accelerator is in the game, so
mm,
that recharges field upgrades even faster.
yeah, so
So
you
you
could
could
be
get like
getting
a super fast field upgrade recharge. It could be like very, very powerful. Depending, it all depends on if the field upgrades are good.
yeah,
Because in Cold War, field upgrades were very, very good. Um, and who knows how this game is balanced? I think that's a lot of the thing about this game is like when we're going into a new zombies game that has features from old zombies games, you just have to wonder if they've rebalanced stuff or not.
yeah.
All we really know is how Cold War played. We don't know how this is going to play, but we'll see.
Deception will and I will find out for you. Don't worry. Um, After I get my first gold gun, or maybe even my second gold gun on Saturday, I'll probably switch over to zombies. But um, that's a whole other conversation for later. So going on to minor augments, we have Speedy Roulette, Quick Swap, and Fast Pitcher. Speedy Roulette, the mystery box settles much faster. So if you love using the mystery box, this is the perk for you. Like this is the augment for you. Quick Swap, you swap weapons faster. Fast Pitcher, you deploy equipment faster. So it really depends on what kind of player you are for these minor augments, I think. Um, if you use equipment a lot, definitely Fast Pitcher probably be your best bet. Um, if you're like using multiple guns, and or you're in a situation where like if you're one of those players that like always runs out of ammo in one gun, like this will be helpful. It kind of just depends on your playstyle and how these maps play as well. I think for these minor augments on this one. Um, Someone's calling me. I don't really care. Um, so then we're moving on to Deadshot Daiquiri. So this is the ADS in precision and increased critical damage. So for major augments, we have Deadhead, which further increases in critical damage. Dead First, deal double critical damage if an enemy is at full health. Dead
It's a
Again,
really good sniper one.
yeah. And then Dead Again, critical hits have a chance of adding a bullet to your magazine.
That
So,
also could be a good sniper one.
yeah, I think definitely the two bottom ones would be good for sniper, and probably Deadhead would be good if you're using a like a low damage weapon.
Like, imagine if you had like a semi-auto gun
Hmm.
and you could just refill a bullet
Yeah.
because of how good the damage was.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Unlimited ammo.
I think what they're doing with ammo in this game is really good, especially for zombies. I feel like that's one of like the biggest things with zombies that kind of like stuns players is running out of ammo or having to reload, um, that kind of stuff. And then the minor augments are Dead Break, which increases damage to armor pieces. Dead Draw, reduce hipfire spread, and Dead Set, reduce gun movement while performing advanced movement. So I
A
think
reduction
like
to hipfire spread could be really good if you need hipfire kills, which I'm not
assu-
sure if that'll end up being a challenge
I assume
for
it
the camos,
I assume it will
but
be for something.
we'll see. That could be a good one though.
Mhm.
That's also something you got to think about is the build diversity for getting camos.
Mhm.
A lot of these augments could help with that.
Yeah, it's true. Um Moving on to quick revive, kind of self-explanatory there. Major augments, we have EMT, which reviving an ally allows them to keep all of the perks on their bleed out bar. Equivalent exchange, killing an enemy while down will revive you and remove quick revive. This can be done up to 3 times. So if you're one of those people that like, if you're playing like solo, for sure, like um, this might be good for you. Or even like if you're playing with a weak duo. So like, say you're Deception playing with me, this might be a good one to have, for sure. Dying Wish on lethal damage, you become immune to all damages for 2 seconds and keep 1 health. Quick revive is removed on use. So Dying Wish was actually like a perk before, and I think they just like turned it into an augment for a quick revive, which I think is pretty
It's not
cool.
as good as it used to be though.
No, but it's
If it gets
still,
rid of quick revive, it's not good.
but it's something I guess. We still have it in the game at least. So some minor augments we
It's sad
have.
that it gets rid of quick revive when you only have theoretically in solo you'd only have like 4 of them.
Yeah.
So like, and now another thing about zombies is they rebalanced it to where you only get 3 self revives. You can't just infinitely buy them. So like,
Interesting.
Dying Wish is great, but it's like at the same time you're running the risk of like just losing all your quick revives off of Dying Wish and
Yeah.
then having to worry about um using your self revives.
Yeah. So it's definitely something that like could be great, could probably isn't though.
I think
Uh,
equivalent exchange will probably be the best one
mhm.
because it's basically like self medication.
Yeah. And then some minor augments. We have swift recovery. Reviving an ally increases both of your movement speeds for a short time, so you can get in, heal them, and then get out
Dude,
of a bad
it's like
situation.
BO3.
Yeah.
My lord, he can move real quick.
Yeah. Karmic return. Reviving an ally heals you to full health. That's a great one. Especially like if you're Deception and playing with me. Slow death. Increases your time and last stand. That could also be a good one as well. So if you go down a lot, quick revive, it's gonna be very good for you. Or if you're like with a partner that goes down a lot, there's 2 different
Yeah,
builds.
that's like part of the weird thing about quick revive is it's very like teammate dependent. It
Yeah.
seems like with the augments, which if you're somebody like me who mostly plays solo, that's not great.
But
because there's not a lot that can help you.
when you play with me, it's super great because I do go down a lot. It's bad.
Yeah, because then basically me running this perk is just a fail safe for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Um, moving on to Elemental Pop. So this one, at random ammo mods. Um, so there's three. The major augments are Citrus Focus. If a weapon has an ammo mod applied, Elemental Pop will only activate that one.
See, that
Imperial.
automatically fixes the old problem of elemental pop. A lot of people wouldn't run this perk just because of the fact that it would just trigger random ammo mods that you didn't
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
And if you run that, the automatic fix.
yeah. Imperial Peach. Enemies that hit you have a chance to trigger a random ammo mod, so that's cool. Electric Cherry. Reloading creates an electric damage discharge that damages and stuns nearby normal enemies. The emptier the
That's also
magazine,
going to
the
be a really
stronger
good
the
one.
damage. And then for the minor augments, we have Vulnera Bean, which slightly increases enemy elemental weakness damage. Pineapple Blast. Equipment can also trigger a random ammo mod. Chillberry slightly reduce all ammo mod cooldowns. So, I mean, definitely these are definitely gonna help in the situation with
The
elemental.
reduced ammo mod cooldowns will be good, I
Mm-hmm.
think. It just all depends on how good ammo mods are
Yeah.
because honestly, ammo mods were not that great in Cold War. They were kind of helpful, but like the cooldowns were so long and like just the way that people played Cold War, the ammo mods just didn't really have much of a purpose. So
Yeah.
if ammo mods are better in this game, Elemental Pop might be like a goaded perk, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
Alrighty, and then you have PhD Flopper, which is explosive dive to prone and immunity to self-inflicted explosive damage. So the major augments are Gravity MD, which just falling from heights creates explosions. So if there's a lot of differential change and you're like jumping down into, a thing of zombies, you're safe. Dr. Ram, tactical sprint knocks down and damages base zombies. PhD slider, sliding into enemies triggers explosions. Minor augments, environmentalists become immune to environmental damage while sliding. EOD technician, slightly reduce height and distance requirements for explosions. Uh, Tribologist, sliding distance and speed are increased. So if you're a slider, tribologist
That
is
one's
for you.
fun, bro. That was fun in
Yeah.
Cold War.
So
Getting
if
that super slide.
yeah, so if you like to slide, this is your one. Moving on to the last one is melee macchiato, which is this is the new one. So replace weapon gun butt with a deadly punch. So for the major augments, we have espresso, which is all melee attacks are slightly faster, which just like overall makes melee better. Vampiric extraction, melee attacks heal a small amount of your health. Triple shot, your punch can hit multiple enemies at once. That one's gonna be cool, I think. Triple shot. Minor augments, we have stick and move. Backpedal speed is increased after a successful melee attack. Strength training, your punch can one hit kill normal enemies for longer. That's probably going to be the better of the minor augments for sure. Hidden impact, melee kills reload a portion of your held weapon. That actually would be good too. If
It
you're in
could
a
be
stick,
really good if you're like if you just like ran out of ammo and
yeah,
like you're about to get cornered and you just start slapping them
yeah, and then you're
and
like,
then you
oh
get
my
ammo
god,
back.
yeah, that would be good for that. So those are the augments, and then we move on to the ammo mods, which also have augments. We have our typical brain watt, cryo freeze, dead wire, napalm burst, and I think shadow rift is new. If
Hmm.
yeah,
Shadow
so
Rift is going to be interesting.
yeah, so I mean, they're just going through the unlock real quick. Those are big images. Um, Goddamn, we're already at
They're
an hour.
huge
I hope you
images.
guys. I hope you guys like go to the bathroom or something. Actually, deception. I do have to go to the bathroom. I have to pee quick. So I'm gonna have you do brain rot while I go pee.
um. So the thing about the ammo mods, and this is something that you're going to see as we go through the ammo mods. But one of the things about the ammo mods is that I saw that it got pointed out was I gotta admit there's a little bit of a lack of creativity um, with them. As you're gonna find out, a lot of the ammo mod augments do kind of the same thing. Like you can tell, like the one called Big Game where Brain Rot can charm elite enemies. Yeah, that's a thing on like every ammo mod where by default ammo mods do not affect elites, but if you run Big Game, they do. Um, and basically, for the most part, with the minor augments, they literally just one of them will increase the duration or reduce the cooldown. Um, a little bit like uh, I will say, like I just don't think the ammo mods are quite as inspired in terms of their abilities.
Oh yeah, it's looking a little lackluster.
You're gonna
Uh,
find out when we go through them because that's what I was saying. That a lot of ammo mods, all the augments do the same thing.
yeah. So, um, you finished brain rot?
I was just talking about that first
Oh,
before we
okay.
got into brain rot.
Sorry, I had to pee so bad. Coffee, it just like runs right through me. You guys know if you know.
I mean, caffeine is a diuretic, so
Yeah, it's true. Anyway,
makes
so
sense.
for the major augments for brain rot, we have plague, pheromone, big game. Plague, the charged enemy has a chance to turn other enemies. That would be cool. It's just like an infectious brain rot. Um,
It'd be funny if that just kept working. I'm pretty sure that only works on like a couple enemies, but I think it'd be so funny if they did, if they just kept turning enemies.
yeah. Pheromone, the charged enemy distracts nearby normal and special enemies for a short time. And then big game, brain rot can charm elite enemies. So, um, if you're trying to get like a big guy, um, big game is your one. And I'm
Or be
sure,
like in that clip I have from Cold War where I charmed the plague hound and I was
oh
giving him hit
yeah,
paths.
yeah. And then for minor augments, we've got extension, haste, explosive. Extension is just an increased duration, and then haste is a slightly reduced cooldown time. Explosive is charmed enemies explode at the end of the brain mass duration, dealing toxic damage. I think probably explosive would be the better of the minor
If you
augments for this
if
one.
you turn the explosive one with the one that turned other enemies, I think it'd be really good.
Yeah. Um, cryo freeze. We have Big Game, which can slow elite enemies. Ice Cloud, enemies that are killed while frozen may leave a cloud that slows other enemies. Frozen Stiff, enemies are frozen in place. So they don't come after, they don't, like, because, like, they move a little bit. So these ones will make it so they don't move at all. It'll be good for, like, if you so happen to get a cryo freeze at, like, the end of a round when you're trying to do stuff for, like, um, Easter eggs. That would probably be good. Extension, same thing, slower duration, increase the duration. Freezer burn increases damage to frozen enemies. Liquid nitrogen um, increases your chance of prior freeze to activate. Um, Moving on to dead wire. For major augments, we have chain lightning. The stun enemies can spread the stun to others. This is like that knife um, from BO4, where if you like, it was a um, one of the, what was it called? What it's called, but like you could like you would drink it, and then when you would knife, you would have like five knives where you would just like knife an enemy, and it would like spread to other enemies. So it's kind of like that. Big game, Deadwire can stun elite enemies. Lightning strike, a bolt of lightning strikes from above, stunning all normal and special enemies in the area. I think lightning strike might be the best one for that. Minor augments, we have high voltage, haste, and extension. Extension makes it last longer. Haste, slightly reduced cooldown. And high voltage, um, more damage. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're seeing that like a lot of them have the same things.
yeah. There's a lot of the same minor augments for the um, shit ammo mods. Um, we've got for napalm, we've got big game, thermite, firebomb. big game, elite enemies. You can get Thermite, it increases burn effect damage. Firebomb, burned enemies explode on death, spreading the fire to nearby enemies. Minor
That
augments.
probably would be a pretty good one, to be
I,
honest.
yeah, because then it's just like a you get them and then any enemies around them. It's like acts as another like lethal
The big
weapon.
thing is like the question is like, will that just keep chaining together? Because like a
I
lot of
don't
these are like,
think
oh, it
so.
explodes to other enemies or it does this to other enemies. If the stuff chains together and just keeps chaining, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah,
like, I don't know if they're gonna do
I
that or
don't know
not.
either. Minor augments, there's extension, which is the duration. Incendiary, which in each damage tick has a small chance to spread to a nearby enemy. Contact burn, initial burn effect deals more damage. Pretty simple stuff. Shadow Rift, this is a new one, so bullets deal shadow damage. Each bullet has a chance to spawn a black hole on a normal or special enemy, warping away those nearby and dropping some from the air at lethal speed. So it's like raining fucking zombies.
Literally
I love
raining
that.
zombies,
I
bro.
love that so much. So major augments, big game. Again on this one, the enemies topple danger, warp one enemy that deals shadow damage to others. Explosive rain, enemies that are dropped from portals will explode on contact with the ground. I think explosive rain might be the better one here, especially if it's like you're doing high rounds or you have like a big horde. If you're like a hoarder, this is probably going to be the best one, the explosive rain. And then minor augments, haste, reduce cooldown, targeted, dropped enemies will fall on other enemies. That would be a better, probably the better one of what I can see. Supermassive is the singularities, lethal radius is increased and kill more enemies. I think targeted and explosive rain mixed together would be pretty good, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
This is just a really interesting one because we've never seen this. We've never
yeah.
seen like the Shadow Rift stuff.
So this is gonna be pretty cool with zombies falling from the sky. I wonder if they would deal damage to you falling from the sky like that, or is it just a
I assume that they wouldn't, but it could be a thing where they deal explosive damage. You need PhD for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, and then moving on to field upgrades. We have our typical standard field upgrades here. We have Ether Shroud, Frenzied Guard, Dark Flare, Healing Aura, and Energy Mind.
Dark Flare is the new one. It's sort of Dark Flare and Shadow Rift kind of like
Are like in the
are
same vibe.
kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Um.
RIP to Ring of Fire.
Yeah. You were
You will be
good.
missed.
You'll definitely
I
be.
mean, who knows? It might come back, but like if it comes back, it probably won't be nearly as powerful as it was
No.
in Cold War.
No. Cold War. Everyone was just running that.
Ring of Fire was the best.
Yeah. So for the Ether Shroud, there's Group Shroud. Nearby players are also cloaked. Burst Dash, warp forward at short distance, killing all normal enemies in your path. Void
Dude, that one
Sheath.
is so fun, bro.
Mm-hmm. Just like,
I
just be
remember like
careful with
people
it.
would do like in Easter egg runs, people would do that to get places faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember like on D Machine, because you'd have to go through the whole like knocked area to get up to the top where Jug is in the plane crash.
Yeah.
If you looked up and was very near the wall of that building and you used Ether Shroud, you would just teleport up to the top. It was great.
Oh my god, I just saw the thing you sent me. We'll say that after. So for the minor augments, we have instant reload, extra charge, extension, same as the other ones. Extra charge, increase max charges by 1. Instant reload, activation, instantly reloads your currently held weapon. That probably would
Honestly,
be.
probably max charges will probably be like the best one. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people like Ether Shroud was good for reloading your gun, but like you could reload your gun anyway in Ether Shroud.
Yeah. So it's useful, but not as useful as some of the other ones.
The extra charges would be very important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ether Shroud is very good for like Easter egg runs and like multiplayer.
Yeah. So moving on to Dark Flare, we have you generate an energy beam that deals lethal damage, shadow damage, and penetrates everything in its path. That is a strong word, penetrates. Oh my god. Holy shit. Anyway, so for the major augments, you have extension, which usually is a minor augment, so that's interesting. Um, that increases the duration. Supernova, the beam is replaced with a spear that damages nearby enemies as it travels. The ball
See,
detonates
that
at
might
the end of the
actually be
dark flares.
crazy, bro.
Yeah,
If it's like a spear that just like goes through all of them and just
yeah.
one shots all of them,
And
it'd
it
be
and it
great.
and it detonates at the end of the duration, so like it just explodes. So
See that using it like a spear that goes through the enemies automatically and then explodes makes me think about like the retriever from Mob of the Dead.
hmm
Makes me think about that.
and if you're playing with other people, Dark Pact, it beams and heals revive and beam heals revive and revives other players on contact. So
Yeah,
that
and if it did that, then it wouldn't. See, that's kind of like that could be like the multiplayer counter to quick revive.
hmm
It's like you could either use a quick revive ability to do stuff like revive people, or you could use that. You wouldn't be using quick revive.
oh yeah. Then we have minor augments, which is broad beam, which is increases the size of the beam. Heavy shadow, the beam slows enemies on contact, and extra charge increases max charges by 1. So pretty cool ability from what we can see so far. I definitely want to see it in action though. Um,
I'm excited for that one.
yeah. So moving on to Frenzied Guard. Um, so this is like where enemies temporarily target you. For those of you that don't remember, and it repairs your armor to full. Um, I'll have Deception read these because I need to eat my snack. I'm starving. I'll pull them up the descriptions.
Yeah, so Frenzy Guard came out during like the middle of Cold War. It was one of the DLC ones that came out in Cold War. Um, it was Frenzy Guard was pretty good, I would say overall. I definitely think it helped. It was best used in Outbreak, which is not a thing in this game. But I do think it helped a lot, especially in like Easter egg runs and stuff. And there used to be like an exploit that you could do with a different thing in Mallard or Toten that was really good for high rounds. But the Frenzy Guard basically makes it to where when this is active, you instead of eating health when you take damage, you eat shield. Um, but as you kill zombies, you recharge your armor, essentially. So with the major augments, you have phalanx, which means that teammates can also repair armor from kills while near you, which again, that could be good for like an Easter egg run or something. Maybe if you're in like a boss fight and zombies are spawning and you're taking a lot of damage, you can just heal your armor in the process. Um, Retribution triggers an explosion on activation. Um, Normal enemies are damaged and knocked down, which is great. Um, which that could be very good if you're in a bad spot. Like if you're cornered, you could just chuck that down there and then just kill a bunch of them. And you went from cornered and almost dead to all the zombies are knocked down. Throw a grenade or something at the ground, and boom, you have full armor back, and you're fine. Um, and frenzy fire, which is you use the ammo from the stock when you're frenzied, which is basically just like stock option. Um, I mean, I think stock option might be better, but I mean, this is more of a widely used one than stock option since stock option's a gobble gum.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the minor augments, I mean, we have repair boost, which repairs more armor per kill. That's probably going to be the best one. Um, Extension is just increased duration, and rally on activation repair all nearby teammates' armor to full. Again, that's probably like you probably if you did like phalanx and rally, that'd be like the perfect
Yeah.
co-op Easter egg run type setup for Frenzy Guard.
It's seeming like there's a lot of like different augments for like different situations. Like if you're going to be playing with other people, there's augments that go specifically towards that. It's helping out your teammates, and then there's ones that like for solo playing, that'll be good for that as well. So I mean, I feel like that's kind of the theme that I'm getting here for these. That there's options for both. Moving down to healing aura. This is the one I usually run mainly because I suck. Um, so for major augments, we have resilience, which all affected players have their health regeneration delay reduced, and their rate of healing increases temporarily. Enduring radiance, the beams and their health effects persist for a short time after leaving the area of effect. And then persistence, revive players keep all perks on their bleed out bar. So definitely healing aura has always been like one of those like teammate kind of situation. I mean, there was a couple uses for it in Cold War when you were running by yourself, but it was mainly
It's
used.
basically only used for multiplayer. Healing Aura really didn't do much in
Yeah,
solo.
yeah. So I guess they're kind of keeping with that same thing here. For minor augments, there's inner strength. Affected player damage is slightly increased for a short time. Um, Protection, healed players have a damage slightly mitigated for a short time. So stoic, I don't even know how to say that. Stoic presence on activation. Special and elite enemies are stunned, while normal enemies are knocked down. That would probably be better. The
That could be a good
stoic.
one if like you or one of your friends is getting absolutely mauled by an elite.
Yeah.
And you just pop that and now they're stunned, so you have time to like gather yourself for a second.
Yeah. And then moving on, we have energy mine. Major augments: scatter, turret, carousel. Scatter. The energy mine will split into 3 mines that scatter and detonate one of each time. Turret. Instead of a mine, deploy a turret that shoots at the nearest enemy. Carousel
Dude, that
3.
one would be interesting because it probably only shoots at one enemy at a time, but if it
Mm-hmm.
does enough damage to where it can like kill one, go shoot another, kill that one, that could be a really good one.
Yeah. And then carousel, 3 energy mines will float around you, detonating when an enemy is nearby. It kind of reminds me of like Mario Kart when you have like 3 of the like green shells that just
That
kind of
would
like go
definitely
around
be a
you.
good one for hoarding for
Yeah.
sure.
Minor augments, we have frequency boost, increased detonation count, and duration. Extra charge, increase max charges by 1. Siren, energy mine now attracts nearby normal enemies for a short time. So this could be good if you're trying to like hoard. This is very good for hoarding. It's from
That
what
would
I'm
be good
seeing.
for like that could be like the siren one could be a good like mini monkey bomb where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you're like in a bad situation or like if you're trying to if you need like a little breather, you just throw the energy mine and
Mm-hmm.
then they all go to the energy mine.
Yeah. So moving off of these different field upgrades, we are going to the loadout. So you get your one weapon, and then you get your melee. So you get a pistol, and then your melee, and then you get a field upgrade. You get a tactical, a lethal, and then your combination pack, um, which we'll be getting here in a second. I think I'm just gonna kind of strike through that. I mean, a lot of these are the same that have been before. I don't think there's really anything new that we haven't talked about yet. Um, in the Monkey Bomb, and then the LT-53 Casimir. That is access via ground loot or crafting table during a match creates a slightly small singularity that pulls in and kills enemies. Similar to the Symbol Monkey. Um,
The
all
Casimirs will be good, bro.
Yeah, and then all the lethals are pretty much the same. Blast trap.
I love the Casimirs. I think those are. I mean, I don't know what. I don't know how much they'll cost or whatever, or how viable they'll be to run along for like a long term.
All
Because
the
in
all the
Cold War
costs
they
are on here.
costed. In Cold War they costed a lot of salvage.
It's looking like
So
250 for frag, 250 sticky, 400 for C4, 350 for thermo, Impact is 350. So it looks like they really don't go over 400. Combat X, you just need it. You can't really craft that one. But it looks like yeah, all of them are like less. The most expensive one is the C4 at 400. So
Even craft Casimir's? I wonder if you can. If you can't even craft them, then that they're definitely going to be limited use. You're
yeah,
definitely going to. If you can only pick them up off of zombies, bro.
oh yeah. So for support, we have the armor plate, RCXD, the LDBR, Hellstorm, Sentry Turret, Mangler Cannon. That's sick. Um, and locked in game per match. And then the Chopper Gunner, and then Mutant Injection. For the Mangler Cannon, all the ballistic power of the Mangler at your fingertips, and then for the Mutant Injection, temporarily transforms you into a Mangler with all the bells and whistles, whatever that means. Moving on to Gobblegum, I'm gonna try to run through this pretty fast because we're already almost at an hour and a half, and I do have to class soon, so I'm just gonna scroll through this quick and really get into it. So we're gonna
A lot
start.
of them are the same stuff from Black Ops 3 slash
Mm-hmm.
Black Ops 4. There's only, I think, 3 or 4 new
Yeah.
ones.
So if there's a new one, we'll talk about it. But the other ones were probably just yeah. And the Gobblegum is what I was talking about earlier with the knife thing. I just forgot the name. So I'm not super smart sometimes. So we have stock option anywhere but here, temporal gift, shields up, killjoy, cashback, arsenal accelerator. Those are all the real rare Gobblegums. Are any of those new?
None of those are new.
Okay, and then we have epic. We have who's keeping score, nowhere but here, profit sharing, exit strategy, free fire, soda fountain, and respin cycle.
Exit strategy is the new one. It allows you to instead of every 5 rounds like normal, you can you can choose to exfil whenever. You pop that gum and immediately you can exfil.
Yeah.
And it does that and it reduces the amount of zombies at the exfil site.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to legendary, we have Idle Eyes, Phoenix Up, On the House, Immolation, Liquidation, Wall Power, Crate Power, and Wall to Wall Clearance.
None of those are new.
Okay. And then Ultra Gobblegum, we have Near Death Experience, Wonder Bar, Newtonian Negation, Perkaholic, Hidden Power, Raindrops, and Indigestion.
So there are 2 new ones here.
Okay.
Wonder Bar makes it to where the next hit at the mystery box guarantees you a wonder weapon. Um, so it could be the wonder weapon of the map or the ray gun because the ray gun counts as a wonder weapon. Um, I'd be okay with either, especially if
Oh
the
yeah.
ray gun is as
Oh
good as
yeah.
it was in Cold War.
I love a ray
Um,
gun.
and hidden power is actually like I think that'll actually be a really good one because of how the weapon rarity system works in this game. If you pop hidden power and whatever weapon is in your hand automatically gets upgraded to legendary rarity.
And then for the whimsical ones, zombies for Newtonian negation, zombies kill fall straight up, and indigestion, zombie killed experience extreme flatulence. Why don't even and then you can create your team. You can select a dedicated crew based off of the
Yep.
zombie characters. But yeah, that's pretty much all on zombies in multiplayer. And then campaign. If you guys choose to play it, there's not really early access, so I don't think we're gonna see like a really uptick in people playing campaign like we did last year. Because people are gonna
Well,
want to
I
get
think the reason why there was no early access was because of last year, but I think they dropped the ball with not having early access because personally, that's the only reason why I played campaign
yeah.
anyway.
So I think maybe they're testing it out and seeing if maybe they're testing out the numbers or something. Um, but I'll be playing the campaign, part of my like story mode kind of challenge thing that I'm doing. Deception. Well, probably won't be unless he's really bored one
Unless
day.
I just get the random urge to play campaign at some point, probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not a
So
campaign guy, bro.
there's kind of like one last thing we probably should talk about. It's very important. Clayster has officially announced his retiring from competitive Call of Duty. Um, Honestly, I think this is something a lot of us were waiting for. I think he's been kind of pushing it off because he wanted one more win. I watched a documentary on Breaking Point that he wanted one more win before he retired, but with the teams that he's been getting, it's been very difficult. I mean, but like he's already a very decorated player. I mean, he's a 3 times world champ, 18-time tournament winner. He's got an X Games gold medal. He's a 2015 Champs MVP, and he has over $1.2 million in tournament winnings. Like, this guy's
Yep.
an absolute GOAT in the scene, and I don't think he needs to prove any more of that. If people don't believe that, then they just don't know. They're not true, like, Call of Duty pro scene fans, and they don't understand that, like, Clayster proved himself, and you know what? He had a really decorated career, um, and he just kind of got the shit end of the stick for the last 4 years on these teams.
Yeah, if
So
you've watched Clayster in the CDL era, outside of that Dallas Empire year, he has not been the greatest.
and he's been on like some
But I
pretty
mean, that
like
was the decline of his career anyway. Like
mm-hmm,
I would say in general, um, his last good year was MW19.
yeah. I mean, not all players, like players like Scump and Crimsix, they have one bad season and they're like after their peak and they're like, oh yeah, we're done. Like I still can play and I still can compete at this level, but like I'm not gonna get what I want, so I might as well just be done. And I think Clayster kind of finally realized the same thing after the past four
Yeah.
years of being on like NYSL, Royal Ravens, um, and LA, Vegas Legion, for a while there. Um, but you know what? He is still like a an important figure in the scene, and congratulations on your retirement, man. Let's see some of that content. Join up on the watch parties and all that
He was the
stuff.
first. He was the first player to ever play at the age of 30. So there's that.
Yeah. So I think we'll be seeing a lot. Well, I don't think this will be the last we're seeing of Clay, but I think he's still gonna keep ties in the community and be on the like the flank and the Scump watch party. So
Honestly, I would not surprised if he goes to the desk this year
oh
because
yeah,
he
I
was
think
doing
he
that
should.
quite a bit last year after at champs and stuff, and I think he liked it.
I
So
think they should take Nameless off the desk and put Clayster on there.
please,
I don't really like Nameless that much. He's too cocky. I don't like that. Um, that's not my. That's not
please, bro.
please. Um, but I believe that's all that we have for you today. Today was a very like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 breakdown um kind of episode. I'll be uploading this on tomorrow if you guys are watching this live. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, Call of Duty comes out tonight at midnight. I'm posting this on a Thursday. I never post on Tuesdays, like Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, Sunday. I don't post those 4 days of the week usually. So I'm doing a special exception, so you guys can take all this in before the game. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with us through this very long episode. This is one of the, if not the longest episode we've done
Yeah,
to date. I think. I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure that this is the longest podcast episode that we've done. Yeah. Oh no, we've had one that was on 136 with Tamaga, but this is definitely up there with the longer ones. Um, Maybe even second on the list there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, chilling with us. Um, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitch where we stream this podcast live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST. Deception, say bye.
I
See you guys next time. Peace.